I'm excited to tell you that I'll be speaking at the Culture and Christianity Conference at World Outreach Church just south of Nashville, Tennessee this September, and I'm inviting you to join me. My friend, Pastor Alan Jackson, organized this conference so we can address the issues we're facing in today's culture, but through the lens of God's truth. We'll talk about what's happening in the church, the media, and with our health. When you attend, you'll gain insight and valuable perspectives on what's happening in the world today. Learn more and register at alanjackson.com/Charlie. That's alanjackson.com/Charlie. I'll see you there. There is a generational realignment that has been occurring the last couple of years. Now, we are one of the few shows that is covering this on a regular and a daily basis. It goes to show that the younger demographic is leading the right-wing realignment all across the West. And some new numbers have come out that are just dramatic, that are worthy of us leading with. This is from a Pew Research survey. It shows incredible partisan swings just from 2023 to 2025. The most notable of all of them is 18 to 29-year-old men, we can put it up on screen, have swung 44 points. That's right. Men ages 18 to 29 have become 44 points more conservative, more Republican over the last 2 years. I've been focused on this issue my entire life. My life's work has been realigning this. My life's work has been trying to take the younger demographic from its adherence and its attachment to leftism and bring them home towards a pro-American, nationalist, conservative perspective. And what's so fascinating is that young ladies are also moving in major numbers. Young ladies, according to Pew Research, have moved 14 points since 2023. Young men ages 30 to 49, 15 points. Now, what is driving this? Well, we've gone through the toxic masculinity. Young men are told that they're fascist and terrible just because they lift weights and they want to be a man in American society. Part of this is economic. Part of this is also the kind of cultural, religious forces. The left has become so powerfully uncool and unlikable. Evidenced by, I'm sure they're going to do their best to try to roast us on the upcoming South Park episode, but I think the way we're taking it is the way that conservatives should take comedy. The left is mad. They are angry that I am not angry. The left is mad that I am not mad that South Park is going to do their thing. But more interesting, and this fires up a lot of people in this audience, but it's important. Let's put the chart up back on screen. Again, everyone in this audience, you are exempt from this. But this is a very important trend that is worthy of appreciation and study. That since 2023, older men above the age of 65 have become 6 points more Democrat. Older women only 2 points more Democrat. So you look at the realignment. As baby boomers have become a little bit more Democrat over the last couple of years. Not you in this audience, but it's true. The data shows this. Young people are moving dramatically. And we've done this kind of bit a couple times. But if you are an older American, you should want to see this change. Young white men, 20-year-olds, are more likely to vote Republican than white men at 70. Goes to show what we're doing at Turning Point USA. It's not just working, it's saving the entire bedrock of the civilization. The work that we are doing at Turning Point USA, and by the way, we have a new staff training right now. We're adding 70 new people to our full-time grassroots army to start high school chapters across the country. Club America groups. You see, this is one thing the left doesn't understand. The left just thinks that I'm kind of like, oh, he's just an internet personality. He goes to college campuses. He goes viral. That is like 1% of what I do. We have a standing, well-financed, well-trained, motivated, gritty army of organizers that start high school chapters, college chapters, events. We have a pastor's training coming up next week. Go 466 up on screen. That right there is just new full-time staffers that we are adding. That's like the Gen Z summit that they did last week. And you see right there, that's just the full-time. We have 1,000 full-time people on payroll at Turning Point USA. And so when people donate $5, $10, $5,000 to Turning Point USA, you are financing full-time bodies on the ground to fight for the culture war. That looks like the Voters of Tomorrow Summit. But let's go back to the data. This is not a criticism of baby boomers. It's not a criticism of a lot of you in this audience because you guys are the exception. But it does go to show that the reason why the country has moved profoundly right is a bottom-up youth-led movement. The media has done a little bit of coverage of this, but not nearly enough. Not nearly what is justified. It is the greatest generational realignment since Woodstock. And the last gasp, who is holding the line for the Democrats? It really is women. It really is 30 to 40-year-old women. You see, the left always assumed that they could play the waiting game. Just wait, and the conservatives will die, and young people will be liberal forever. They thought that time will inevitably benefit them. Turns out they did not factor in what we are doing at Turning Point USA. They did not factor in this grassroots campus infrastructure that we have been able to put together, the billions of views that we have on TikTok and Instagram. Now, many young people are conservative, and conservatives are having way more kids than liberals now. So the liberals are depopulating themselves. The liberals are too busy getting abortions, worshiping contraceptives, having maybe one kid and 5 dogs, where we as conservatives are the one with big families. We're going back to church. Religion matters. In 10, 20 years from now, the math does not look very good for the liberals. And that is why they had to try to keep the borders open under Joe Biden. You see how this all connects together? Keep the borders open under Joe Biden because conservatives were having kids, so we have to bring in a third world voting population so that third world voting population can be more loyal and adherent to our agenda. Meanwhile, conservatives are the ones they hate because they hate the body politic of the United States of America. And they want to import the people that they do not like. Democrats have always struggled winning white voters. And you just see some of these images from our last campus tour. And we are just a couple weeks away from the restart of our fall campus tour. And I can tell you right now, this campus tour coming up in the fall, it's going to be the most fun, most watched, high profile. And this data is remarkable. Now, you can make an argument that part of the Democrat resistance is within the AARP crowd. 65 plus men are now D+6 since 2023. Boomers have not really gotten over their opinions of Trump because it's all about media consumption. If you are getting media from cable television, again, Fox News is awesome. I was honored to be able to host it this last weekend, but exempted from Fox News, if you're watching even network TV, CBS, ABC, NBC, CNN, you're going to have a different worldview. I call it the white noise machine. Mockingbird media. I don't think people truly appreciate that our spring tour did bigger numbers than the fall tour, which was ahead of an election. More views, more attendees, more impact. What you're looking at through this generational data right now is not just historic, it is hope. It is not just that which will be written down in the history books. It should give you the most hopeful idea and a picture of a future. In fact, if your kind of baby boomer counterparts are going to the left and your grandkids are going to the right, that should make you stand up in roaring applause. Every time the left says toxic masculinity, another 20-year-old registers Republican. You know, we were a little worried over the last couple of weeks. Boy, are younger men going to leave the Trump coalition? The Democrats did all the work for us the last couple of days. Their reaction to the Sydney Sweeney ad, that has just like further made young men conservative, or at least anti-leftist for an entire generation. No one wants to be part of that entire political project. What has happened is that things have become so big, so impossible to ignore, that even our debate clips have become a cultural phenomenon on South Park. The left, they are a party of killjoys. They're a party of hall monitors, they are a party of shrill, childless women that want to scold you for not using the right pronoun. This is a significant cultural shift, not just politics. Gen Z is drinking less, they're smoking less, they're lifting more, they're healthier, they're not ashamed of being white and Christian, and it's cool to be conservative right now. And they're going back to church. All this news that we are seeing, I'm interested in trends right now. Where are things trending? And the trends are holding. This was not just a Trump phenomenon. And, a lot of Democrats, they're trying to show like, well, I can lift weights and, me bench pressing, that's going to win over younger men. I do think that there is a direct correlation between someone's testosterone and their politics. I would love to have a study done on this. On young men, the lower their testosterone, the more likely they are to be Democratic. Of course, it's probably not a one-on-one. It's not a one-to-one. Oh, Shane says it's scientific. Great. I bet that the lower your testosterone is, the more likely you are to be controlled. To be, yes, I'll take the 9th booster shot. Please boost me harder, daddy government. Yes, Pfizer, I'll do whatever you want. Where the higher testosterone rate, you're like, no, I'm not actually I'm going to think for myself. I might not agree with you all the time. The lower testosterone, the more compliant you are. And there's a lot of reasons why testosterone rates are going down. Microplastics is probably the biggest. Our diet is crummy. And so the more that we are seeing the Democrats pander, they're actually fighting biology. Democrats are not going to be able to win over high testosterone men because they're too self-directed. Here's the study. Testosterone eliminates strategic pro-social behavior through impacting choice consistency in healthy males. Said differently, quote, we show that exogenous testosterone fully eliminated strategic, feigned prosociality and thus decreased submission to audience expectations. Said differently, the lower your testosterone is, the more likely you are going to be subservient and compliant. Our republic needs alpha men. And basically the translation is men stop faking it when their T is high. It's a good way to kind of put the translation. But you kind of extrapolate this to our politics. Young women are moving to the right as well. Put this up because young women want high testosterone men. I think that that's the way we should frame it now is, hey, young ladies, do you want a high testosterone or a low testosterone man? That's a very simple question. Young ladies, if they want a low testosterone man, they want someone that they can control. Young women have become 14 points more Republican since 2023. And I think our Young Women's Leadership Summit at Turning Point USA, our Turning Point Action Outreach, I think it's largely to credit for it. I think we have been on the cutting edge. Alex Clark has done such a great job. There's so many hilarious yet sad articles by miserable liberal women who just can't find a guy that they can find compelling. They just can't do the math. The men that they are dating have testosterone too low. All the men in their dating pool are low T soy weirdos. And you look at our events, they're jocks, they're frat bros, they're normal dudes. They have a Zyn pouch in one hand and they are a protein shake in another. One of my favorites is when these guys come up in their kind of athletic gear to go ask a question and they come with kind of a big protein shake. Homemade, that's how you know it's legit. And there's so many videos of women saying, why are all the hot guys Republican? Because the high testosterone guys are Republican. I'm trying to make sense of it for you. So if you want a high testosterone, entrepreneurial, risk-taking, value-creating, defender of the family husband, then you got to get out of the Democrat voting pool. And for young ladies out there, stop being Democrat. If you want to find an attractive man, a self-directed man, if you want to find one that will protect your family, then stop being a Democrat. I'm sure there are a lot of young Democrat ladies out there that will see this clip. If you want to be able to find the man of my dreams who will be able to protect me and they'll do pull-ups, well, then you got to get out of the low testosterone dating pool. The Democrat Party owns the low testosterone dating pool. I mean, you look at some of those, that clown show that tried to follow me around the country. Remember that clown show, that circus act that came? I mean, you could blow those men over. Just, whoo, it's like there's nothing there. Yeah, the Un-F America clown show. You look at their men. Whoa, that's androgynous to say the least. They're part of the whole Subaru crowd, the Yoga Mat Coalition. It's like, look, America needs a testosterone reset. Yeah, I mean, David Hogg's a good example, but some are other those YouTube trolls that follow me around. I mean, look, David Hogg, look at this pinnacle of American masculinity that we could put up. I mean, come on. And that's that right there. Young ladies don't want this. I mean, they don't. And they look at that like, ew, okay. I mean, some young ladies do. The young ladies who want that, They're the ones that want to control the relationship. So they want to mess up the entire natural order of how marriages should be constituted, which of course is scriptural and biological, where the man is the head of the household. David Hogg would not be the head of the household. Some young ladies want to be alpha women. That's fine if you want to do that, but I would caution you a little bit. That doesn't work out very well. Most young ladies, though, they want to be provided for. They want to be taken care of. They want to have kids. The problem is not always political. It's biological. And testosterone explains a lot of it. The Democrats, they own the low T market.